Okay, and good morning. Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show for Monday, April 7th. It's the video live stream. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Wyble. And so our stock's on sale. Is that how we're looking at it?
Yeah, I bought on
Friday.
Yeah.
So if you had waited till today, you might have made a little bit more.
The key is you don't buy all that you want to buy. You buy when you
you buy into
when you
little
get
tranches
like that. Yeah, you buy a maybe half or a third of what you want and see what happens.
Yeah. Because the markets, do you have any line on the futures? What are the futures doing right now?
Down 1,000 basically is what we're looking at.
In the Dow Jones Industrial Average?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Dow Jones Industrial Average, if the futures, the pre-market open to be believed, they're currently trading down 1,000. They traded down 2,000 on Friday, and they were down 1,600 on Thursday. I don't know. So what does this mean? And what are the machines doing at this point? Because I thought anymore, a lot of emotion and sentiment had been taken out by computer trading. So what are the computers thinking at this point when all the people get involved and say, "Oh no"?
Well, you gotta realize the computers are looking through AI at headlines.
Okay.
So when you hear headlines like, markets are devastated and all these other things that get people's attention,
right?
It's accumulating that information and triggering sells. So a lot of times when you see the market going down, you'll see it hit a certain threshold, like 37 or whatever, and then all of a sudden you'll see it drop down like 400 or 500 more points because it triggers another sell alert for those computers.
Okay.
So that's how the market quickly gets oversold, is because a lot of those computers are trying to stay ahead of what they're hearing in the headlines.
Right. Okay. And so how did those computers do on the brackets? The NCAA men's basketball brackets.
Great point. Great segue into why you should be concerned about the computers. I don't know of any bracket anywhere that had Florida and Houston being in the final game. And that's AI, that's full-time podcasts, ESPN, every other type of SPN out there. And nobody would have thought this was coming together. So
yeah,
everybody who's concerned about AI taking over the world, they can't even take over March Madness. Yeah. So relax.
Yeah. Okay, so we can relax for the moment. Although that doesn't make me feel good about autonomous driving.
No, it doesn't.
When the computers are in control of that.
Yeah, I'm going to take a nap while my car's driving.
So the game tonight, in fact, talking about March Madness, the wrap-up, Houston versus Florida, 8:50 is the tip-off of that. So if you're watching, maybe set your recorder in case you're like me and fall asleep as soon as you turn it on. What else do we have going on? A ton of stuff. We talked about tariffs quite a bit. We talked about the penguins and the tariffs and why they're getting tariffed. And it's basically because you don't want countries doing an end run around saying, "Hey, by the way, that iceberg where that country of penguins,
right?
That's where all these tractors are made."
Or they're making
so they
Nike
get no
tennis
tariff.
shoes.
Yeah, they're making Nike tennis shoes. Well, they are. They started out black and white,
right?
The old school tennis shoes.
And you can see penguins wearing hoop shoes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would
kind of get a lift.
Yeah.
When the sea lions are coming in. All right, it's 7:04. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got a lot to talk about this hour. Which state in the union is most qualified or most apt to survive an alien invasion? Talking about UFOs. Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. Take a look at other things. We've got our news to talk about as well. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, others on the video live stream. We will have more in just a couple of minutes right here on WSJM.
We're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit,
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05 WSJM Morning Show continues. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Wyble. And I was just feeling bad all of a sudden.
For
the kids who have to get back up and go back to school. Spring break is over.
And you feel bad about the teachers that have to try to engage those students for the next, 8 weeks?
Yeah, I bet they have been anxiously awaiting, preparing all kinds of great lesson plans and fun things to do. Keep them engaged until school's out. The public schools, they'll get out, in May? Somewhere around May?
Yeah.
Probably not June, except in some cases. The colleges, I think one of my boys is getting out at the end of April for summer. How do you get out at the end of April for summer? What in the world is that?
Well,
and you pay for college. Come on.
I was just going to say, really, when you think about it, it's
what
a
happened
good
to the
deal
you
for
get
the
what you pay for thing?
Yeah. Good deal for colleges. Hey, go home so we can clean up and lay everybody off and, see you in the fall.
All right. 35 degrees in Benton Harbor right now with under partly cloudy skies. St. Joseph, 37 and windy. 36 degrees in South Haven where it's windy as well. Dowagiac, 33 and mostly clear. New Buffalo is 35 and under partly cloudy skies. In St. Joseph, the feels like temperature is about 22 as you get out the door. Yeah, it feels like it might snow. And in fact, that's what the forecast calls for is maybe snow.
Not till this evening, though, right?
Well, it depends. Mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of snow showers today, not into tonight, today. The high today around 40 degrees, northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to 35. That's what I got from meteorologist Carrie Peugeot. Tonight's forecast.
We like Carrie Peugeot.
Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, low around 25, northwest winds 5 to 10. Tuesday's forecast, partly cloudy, a high around 37, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, we have, mostly cloudy skies Wednesday, Thursday, and a 30 to 40% chance of snow both of those days. A high around 42 degrees on Wednesday, high of 48 on Thursday. Friday's forecast, we're going to get up to 50 degrees under partly cloudy skies and a 20% chance of rain showers. Saturday and Sunday, I don't see any precipitation in the forecast. So
and what's the temperature on Saturday and Sunday?
On Saturday and Sunday, Saturday you're looking at 54 for a high, and Sunday 58 for a high. You're excited because your golf course will be open.
Starts off on Saturday.
Oh man!
This weekend I cleaned my golf bag, I cleaned my clubs, I reloaded and unloaded, reloaded my golf bag.
Is your putter named Billy? Oh, Billy.
No, I have named my putter. That's a good idea, though.
Ted Knight from Caddyshack. He named his putter.
Yeah.
All right. 7:07, it's the WSJM Morning Show.
I like that, Billy.
Yeah, Billy. We've got news to talk about from the WSJM newsroom. We talked first about this last week, and now we know more information. A Coloma man is dead after being struck by a vehicle early Friday morning. Berrien County Sheriff's Office reporting that it happened around 6:15 a.m. First responders were dispatched to westbound I-94 near the rest area, searching for a male subject who was walking and reportedly dancing around on the interstate. That's according to witnesses. The 50-year-old male from Coloma was later struck by a vehicle that was traveling westbound on I-94, and that victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the involved vehicle, a 52-year-old woman from Hartford, she was not injured and did not appear to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. That incident is still under investigation as police wait for autopsy and toxicology reports on the deceased male. Other reports, Sunday afternoon, Allegan County Sheriff's Office reports a kayak rescue in the Kalamazoo River. Just after 5:20 last night, there was a report of two kayakers that had tipped over in the river after colliding with a downed log. It happened in the 1100 block of 32nd Street in Trowbridge Township. Both kayakers were located, rescued, and treated for minor injuries and exposure. The Allegan County Sheriff's Office encourages the public to avoid getting out on the Kalamazoo River at this time due to high water levels, cold water temperatures, and downed trees for recent storms. I included this one especially because we've got a lot of waterways around here as well. St. Joseph River, not alien to any of the downed tree issues. No. So do be careful out there if you're going to be out there, if you're fishing or whatever you're doing. Kayaking, I guess, and a little cold for that.
It is a little cold for kayaking.
Let's see other news. Small business owners are reacting to the latest round of tariffs. The survey found respondents were split. 53% identified tariffs as a threat to their local business, while 34% do not believe it's relevant to their own operation. Brian Kelly is president and CEO of the Small Business Association of Michigan, and he says some people see this as an opportunity.
This isn't surprising because if you think about a policy like that, if you're a tool and die shop or otherwise in a supply chain and you lost business to a lower labor cost country over the last few years, you might be excited that there's going to be new demand for locally sourced goods and services.
He says that's why 13% believe the federal trade policy changes could be positive for small business. And road agencies around Michigan have been helping out with the response to the ice storms in the north part of Michigan. Residents of the counties, including Otsego, Alpena, and Emmett, are still waiting to get their power back after the ice knocked down power lines and trees throughout the region. All of that debris has made it difficult to access certain areas. Speaking on the Talking Michigan Transportation podcast this week, MDOT North Region Engineer Bob Wall said some people who haven't seen the damage yet are shocked when they do.
The impacts are just astounding. As you drive up and down I-75 and just see all these trees that have been pulled down by the ice, and then looking out across different landscapes and whole forests that are just, at times it almost looks like someone took hedge clippers and just trimmed the tops of all the trees off because they're just not there anymore.
Wall says MDOT has been working to clear roads, which has been a challenge due to all the downed power lines. Road crews from counties outside of the affected areas have been helping.
In North Region, it was kind of the northeast corner of the region that was hit. There's 10 counties, and all the counties that were surrounding that basically started calling and saying, what can we do to help? So we basically, at that point, started having them, they started sending crews in.
Wall says the crews from other county road commissions have been relieving their counterparts in the affected counties so they can focus on their own county roads. Meanwhile, MDOT is also helping to clear state trunk lines. Wall noted the state roads are in better shape because they tend to have more recessed tree lines around them. He says road crews from as far away as Ottawa, Allegan, Kent, and Muskegon counties have been in the region helping out. And while we're talking about traffic, just a reminder, as part of the MDOT I-94 rebuilding project in Berrien County, the westbound I-94 ramp to Napier Avenue will be closed starting today. That closure will run through mid-July.
Ouch.
Yeah, the Independence Day holiday will be in part to celebrate the reopening of Napier Avenue. Yeah, so the detour is posted to take southbound US 31 to Napier Avenue. This is the second year of a 3-year project. It's about $200 million. This year's work will be rebuilding westbound I-94 from Washington Avenue to Britton Avenue. Eastbound I-94 will be a project held till 2026. Yay, next year.
Although I can say the bridge at Lincoln Township there on 94 is...
It's pretty.
It is.
It's nice.
We look high class.
Yeah, we do. And nice little carved in the concrete decorations and everything on it. It's pretty.
It is.
It's pretty. All right, it's 7:13. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Wyble. We've got sports right now. We're going to get over onto the video live stream and talk about a whole bunch of things, including the torpedo bats, whether or not they're banned. They're not. But we'll talk about it. Sorry. We'll talk about it in a minute right here
yet.
on WSJM.
The Detroit Tigers completed a 3-game sweep of the Chicago.
All right. So over the weekend, I mean, Mike and I, we stay in contact. He sends me fun stories from time to time.
Yeah.
And you sent me one. It's funny because sometimes you send them to me on text. Sometimes you send them to me through Facebook, which I love checking texts from multiple locations. It's fun.
See?
So
You're on your toes.
So taking a look at what you sent me, what was this, yesterday or was it Saturday?
Saturday.
You sent me this on Saturday, and it appears to be a legit post from X, formerly known as Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. And it looks to be from the verified account of Major League Baseball. And everything looks legit. And the post says, torpedo bats are no longer, according to the office of Rob Manfred. After talking among owners going forward, the torpedo bat will be banned in the MLB. And there's a picture of a guy swinging a bat, and it says banned. And at 2:42 on March 30th, why does it say March 30th? That's like a week old. It had 650,000 views. Now, I'm looking at some of the other stuff here in the news coverage, and it says that Manfred's okay with it. He says the bats are fine, and people have been using them for years. So which is it?
I'm guessing it's the latter.
Yeah. So I mean, did you get hoodwinked?
Yes.
You didn't create this.
No.
Okay.
So the lesson there is
Where did you see this first?
Facebook.
Okay, so you saw it on Facebook first. So somebody took a screenshot of what appears now to be a doctored Twitter post and put it up on Facebook.
Right.
Okay. That's all you got? Nothing?
That's why it's important to fact check.
No, that's okay. I saw it and I was really excited I thought,
Well,
yes,
yeah.
the good guys win.
Right.
Take that, Yankees.
Right.
And not so much.
No.
No.
Like back at you.
Yeah. No, and it must have caused quite a bit of stir. I mean, I don't know how it got posted. Maybe this was it. Maybe it was just doctored and it probably was never seen on X like this.
Probably not.
And only seen somebody getting back at the Yankees right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, silly torpedo bats. So anyway, so we'll have a little bit more on that because Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, has come out with a statement without saying anything specifically about that now known fraudulent post about the torpedo bats. Do you think other teams are going to start picking those up?
Yeah. Based on how the Yankees are hitting, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Jeez. Yeah, that would be a heart stopper if you were the physics guy who came up with the bat and probably copyrighted it.
Right. Patented the technology.
Or whatever
now
you got to do.
Became a bat maker.
Yeah.
Batman.
If you're that guy, if you're the former MIT physicist and the former Yankees coach who came up with here's how we create the perfect bat within MLB rules as they are currently, would you and you made a few billion bucks off that, would you build a house out of torpedo bats?
No.
No. But you'd have a batting cage.
Oh yeah, batting cage and have them all over the wall and everything.
Oh,
signed by every player that hits a home run or.
Yeah, I can't wait until the little leagues start seeing the torpedo bats.
Right,
that'll be amazing. So as long as they get rid of the aluminum, tink
bats.
Tink. If they get rid of those, that'll be great. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. Looking at the video live stream, Bill says, I need to get my cars ready for race season. That's excellent. So he has RC cars.
Oh.
And getting ready for race season, I imagine that means cleaning them up, making sure the tires are all good, everything's tight, that the batteries are fresh and conditioned, ready to go.
Charged.
Yeah, we'll talk about that and more in just a couple of minutes right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Missile.com.
A few snowflakes around today with highs in the upper 30s to near 40. Gusty winds will make us feel well into the 20s. Becoming partly cloudy overnight as lows drop to the mid-20s. The cool air sticks around tomorrow, highs again in the upper 30s. Increasing clouds Wednesday with isolated showers, even some snowflakes mixing in, highs low to mid-40s. The low 50s return closing out the week. I'm WSB 22 meteorologist Jessica Burns.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
I don't know if it was AI or just some joker with Photoshop, but we have now debunked the whole, I don't know, what do we call this? Mike Gate? The band Bat
Torpedo Gate.
Oh, Torpedo Gate. Yeah, there was a fraudulent post put up on social media somewhere saying the torpedo bats were banned in the MLB. Not true. Not true indeed. And in fact, the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred, has said these things are fine. These are great. Love what they're doing for the baseball. Torpedo bats are all the rage this season. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred believes all the chatter is positive for the sport. He said in a Q&A published in the New York Times yesterday, they're absolutely good for baseball. And he says, I believe that issues like the torpedo bat and the debate around it demonstrate the fact that baseball still occupies a unique place in our culture because people get into a complete frenzy over something that's really nothing at the end of the day. Really? Something that's really nothing?
Yeah.
What if we install a drone inside the baseball and take it out of the park every time it gets up there?
Oh,
is that nothing?
Nothing.
I mean, this is the Yankees basically getting around the rules, sneaking up on other teams and just whacking the heck out of the ball. Anyway.
Doesn't seem quite fair, does it?
The interview covered multiple topics and included Manfred praising the testing of robot umpires during spring training. I guess there's not a lot of love lost for umpires.
No, I thought about that yesterday watching the Tigers because, when they show the pitch coming in,
right,
and now you can see the strike zone, you can see whether it's in or out, and at what point the umpire behind the plate could just be calling what he sees on the screen, sort of like they do in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
When they see something they're not sure, they review it. You could review all those, and at that point, what the umpire thinks behind the plate really doesn't matter.
What I would rather see is every umpire issued a set of those Ray-Ban glasses that have the cameras in
smart
them
goggles,
and the little monitors inside the glasses.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That basically has, when I'm squat down behind the catcher and I see that ball coming in, it picks up the object and it tells them, here's where the strike zone is. You do what you want, umpire.
Right.
But here's how far off you are if you call this one a ball instead of a strike, or vice versa. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be
I
interesting.
did see a thing this weekend over smart goggles for putting.
Oh, for golf?
Yeah. So you basically walked around. It basically laid a topographical outlay and then showed you where to hit the ball to get where it's supposed to be. And then you could put in speed, and it would show you what speed to hit the ball.
Is it looking at the slope and the undulations of the green?
Yeah.
Wow. That's fancy.
Yeah.
How much is that little golf
Well,
contraption?
I'm sure it's not cheap.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing about golf is it's not the clubs, it's not the putter, or not the ball, and it's not the membership to the golf club.
Right.
It's all the fun accessories to make you good.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
promise to make you good.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Right.
Speaking of baseball, by the way, WSJM is your official Detroit Tigers baseball station.
Officially.
You can hear the Detroit Tigers on here every game they play. And today they're going to be playing, oh no. Oh no. They're going to be playing the Torpedo Bats today at 3:10 this afternoon. That's the first pitch. The Detroit Tigers are hosting the New York Yankees.
The New York Torpedoes.
Phooey. So they'll be playing them for the next few games. All right. What else do we have here? Speaking of things that are interesting and under investigation, Signal. Remember that whole thing about transmitting war plans over
I did watch quite a bit of interviews about that this week.
Yeah. So this exclusive story from the Guardian newspaper, we now know a little bit more about how the Atlantic editor got on that chat.
Okay.
And it's not as straightforward as one would suspect.
No.
Believe it or not. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz included a journalist in the Signal group chat about plans for U.S. strikes in Yemen after he mistakenly saved the number months before under the contact of somebody else that he intended to add to the chat, somebody who had the right to be in the chat. He wanted to add that person. Mm-hmm. And when he did so, or tried to do so, he accidentally added the journalist. Mm-hmm. So the journalist's contact information was included under the legit person. That's according to 3 people briefed on the matter. The mistake was one of several missteps that came to light in the White House's internal investigation, which showed a series of compounding slip-ups. That's what they're calling them, slip-ups, that started during the 2024 campaign and went unnoticed until Waltz created the chat group last month. President Trump was briefly considered firing Waltz over this episode, more angered by the fact that Waltz had the number of Jeffrey Goldberg in his phone rather than the whole thing about the military operation discussion over that Signal app. But the president decided against firing him, according to this exclusive article in The Guardian, in large part because he did not want the Atlantic and the news media more broadly to have the satisfaction of forcing an ouster.
Right.
Which I guess you could see that. Let's see. The disclosures nonetheless triggered a forensic review by the White House Information Technology Office, which found that Waltz's phone had saved Goldberg's number as part of an unlikely series of events that started when Goldberg emailed the Trump campaign last October, according to the people briefed on this internal investigation conducted by the White House. Goldberg had emailed the campaign about a story that criticized Trump for his attitude toward wounded service members. To push back on the story, the campaign enlisted the help of Mike Waltz, their national security surrogate. Goldberg's email was forwarded then to Trump spokesperson Brian Hughes, who then copied and pasted the content of the email, including the signature block that contained Goldberg's phone number. He copied and pasted that into a text message that he sent to Waltz so that he could be briefed on the forthcoming story. Now, Waltz did not ultimately call Goldberg, the people said, but in an extraordinary twist, inadvertently ended up saving Goldberg's number on his iPhone under the contact card for Brian Hughes, who's now the spokesperson for the National Security Council. So you see what happened here?
Yeah.
the computers were a little bit too smart for the people, and they started saving stuff.
Right. Right.
Because if I get a text message from somebody and it says something about, hey, what are you doing Wednesday? My phone will say, oh, do you want to create a new event for Wednesday? And I mean, no, get out of here.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Or when you get a text from somebody and it says, it might be Ken Lundberg.
Yes.
If they doesn't know. And
That's
you're
right.
like, oh, it's Ken.
Yeah.
And you save it and come to find out it's not Ken. It's Stuart reaching out to me wanting to be like, what's up?
What's up, dog? That kind of thing. By the way, Stuart says hi on the video live stream.
Hey to Stuart.
This mistake, according to the White House, the number was erroneously saved during a contact suggestion update, just like Mike described. And blah, blah, blah. The mistake went unnoticed until last month when Waltz sought to add Hughes to the Signal group chat, but ended up adding Goldberg's number to the message chain that was named Houthi PC small group, blah, blah, blah. The thing that I think about, and I wonder if at some point, as this blows through or blows over, I wonder how, and I don't know because I've not used Signal,
right?
But I wonder how much work did Jeffrey Goldberg have to go through to join the chat? I mean, so he must have Signal. His contact information was added at some point.
Or he does now.
He definitely does now. And did he have to say, yes, I want to be part of this group? And then once he started seeing the stuff, how long do you have as a private citizen in seeing potentially classified material before understanding, hey, I need to do something else on this?
Right.
I mean, I know as part of the Fourth Estate, you've got a job to do. But at the same time, when you start seeing stuff that you shouldn't see, what do you do?
Right.
Who do you report it to? Or do you just report it?
I think he did the latter.
Yeah. So, anyway, I thought that was interesting.
No, it is.
Okay. Let's talk about aliens, because I love aliens.
Let's do it.
All right. Virginia apparently tops the list of states best equipped to survive an alien invasion. That's according to a new study. The rankings were determined based on factors such as population, UFO sightings, the number of caves they have in their area,
all right,
and the percentage of land that's covered by forests or bodies of water. And apparently Virginia scored highest largely due to its military force to civilian ratio. Because they have a lot of military.
Yeah.
I guess we're thinking an alien invasion would be hostile.
Yeah, not come to have lunch or something.
Well, I mean, it's a nice place to picnic. Earth, right? Virginia scored highest largely due to its military force to civilian ratio, with nearly 17 military personnel per 1,000 residents in the Commonwealth. I would have figured it higher. Only 17 per 1,000?
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, because you've got like the Pentagon, you've got the Air Force bases, you've got Norfolk, you've got all kinds of fun stuff. Other considerations included the presence of scientists, engineers, healthcare professionals, because aliens got ray guns.
Right.
That hurts.
That's gonna smart.
That's gonna smart. It's gonna leave. That's gonna leave
a mark.
That's gonna leave a mark. And food and beverage manufacturing companies. The report said, whilst an incoming alien invasion may seem like something from a sci-fi movie, almost half of Americans do believe that aliens could be a threat to U.S. national security. Almost half?
Half.
Really?
Yeah.
We watch too much TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Our research shows that survival in this instance would depend on real-world factors such as military readiness, infrastructure, and access to resources. Obviously, military, there's a lot of it in Virginia. Other states that were mentioned. Alabama ranks second, followed by Massachusetts, which is surprising.
Yeah.
How is Massachusetts on there? Probably the traffic.
Yeah.
There's too much traffic for an invasion here. New York and then Minnesota. Now, Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes.
Right.
I mean, I don't know why water. Is that because aliens from UFOs don't like water?
Or probably. Just too hard.
They don't know how to swim.
No.
All that kind of stuff. Okay.
If the ships sink or.
Let's see. Maryland came in 16th, West Virginia 35th, Delaware 41st. I couldn't find where Michigan was. Where was Michigan? We'll have to keep looking. But at the bottom of the rankings, we were not there. It was Oregon, Nebraska, Arizona, Idaho, and Nevada placed last. because everyone is going to stay at the craps tables.
Right. There's not even aliens are going to Vegas.
Yeah, given the increasing number of UFO sightings in states like Alaska, West Virginia, and Washington, and growing public concern after a SpaceX rocket exhaust was mistaken for a UFO last week, should governments be taking this more seriously? The study says our findings suggest some states are just better equipped for extraterrestrial events than others, raising important questions about our preparedness for the unknown. There you go.
Well, it's hard to prepare for what you don't know.
It's 7:30. It's the WSJM Morning Show. More preparedness for UFOs and other things coming up next. We've got the Bloomberg Market Minute. We've got our ABC News. We've got the latest from our WSJM newsroom. It's all coming up, plus weather forecast here on WSJM. Thanks for tuning in.
What would you call a free account that...
How would you prepare for a UFO invasion? Where would your mind go?
Probably need a lot of tinfoil to make hats.
Come on, what would you do? What would you do?
Well, what would you do? I mean, think about it. I mean, if they have their laser guns, right?
Well, wait, do they have laser guns? We don't even know if they have laser guns.
Don't, but you would hope.
You would hope they have laser guns?
Right.
I think, okay, so...
I mean, if they show up and they're like, pew, 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 and you're like, are you kidding me right now?
with just their long, glowing finger.
Right.
Pew.
Pew, pew.
On the next WSJM Morning Show, Mike and Ken go at it with laser fingers.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
No, I mean, you think about it and you think, okay, well, number one, the primary threat is, do they bring anything that's going to be biologically dangerous to us? Like the common cold on alien planet.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not going to be the same thing as here. So I think that's number one.
The Mars mumps.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Mars mumps or the Mars measles, right. That kind of stuff. So, I mean, biologic warfare unintentionally, that right. would be the first concern. So if you had that would be one thing. If they came in and they were hostile, you would have to wonder what kind of weapons do they have, right. And if they're transporting themselves across solar systems and universes and stuff like that, they're not carrying conventional weapons like what we have. The howitzer bullets aren't going to travel well.
No.
Just because they're heavy as all get out,
right.
And they might be able to carry like 5 cartridges or something like that, or I mean, depending on the size of the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's the size of the moon, that's another story.
Right.
You think the moon is an alien thing? I've seen that.
I don't know, but I saw a bunch on that asteroid that we were talking about, and being able to. There was a astrologist all geeked out about the fact of being able to watch a meteor hit the moon.
Oh yeah,
and that we would feel the shock wave on Earth.
Gosh, that would not be good.
But that we would be able to see a crater be created in real time, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
No,
I don't want to watch that at all. That's not going to be good. So you've got the biologic considerations, you've got the weapon considerations, and do they have firearms or weapons that are they're totally out of our realm? They're not lasers, they're not the conventional, they're not biologic. Maybe it's just like you've seen the recent social media videos about crowd control,
right? How
they're using like sound waves to disperse crowds, and it's pretty effective.
Oh yeah.
So you could do that.
Just sound waves.
Or what they might be able to do is just bring in a new social media app like TikTok.
Right.
Here you go.
And just mesmerizes
and we
you.
Just, yeah.
We all become brain dead.
Bring in artificial intelligence called stalled intelligence.
Right.
7:34, it's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. What do you think? Let's see. What, Stuart? Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Because I gave him a shout out.
Because he's got the eyeballs. Okay, yeah. Very good. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Let's see. What else am I talking about? Oh, we've got a measles update. Did you see we've got our third case now in Michigan?
No.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We've got the Bloomberg Market Minute. I'm going to tune this over to that so we can listen to that because I'm very curious as to what's going to happen in the markets this week. I mean, this may be one of those weeks where it starts with a fall off, and then by the end of the week, we could be gangbusters making records because everybody is thinking, I think, the same thing you were thinking a few days ago, which is This is a great time to invest because we're in it for this period of time, and the market shows time and time and time and time and time and time and time again
Right.
that it rebounds and grows.
Right. Well, there's no doubt, like some of the big drivers, the Fab Five that were overpriced. Now they've gotten kind of smacked. And
More reasonable.
Yeah.
Can we listen to the Bloomberg report?
Let's see what they have to say about
Let's
it.
do that.
But had come up from their earlier lows as the Trump administration digs in on a trade war. The Nasdaq is already in a bear market, down more than 20% from its recent high. President Trump and his economic team dismissed investors' fears of inflation and recession, offering no apologies for the market turmoil and insisting a boom is on the horizon. Trump, speaking yesterday on Air Force One, struck a determined tone and repeatedly defended the tariff barrage unveiled last week. Oil was falling for a third straight session. The escalating trade war is sparking demand concerns. Saudi Arabia has cut its main crude price by the most in more than 2 years. Goldman Sachs cut its oil outlook for the second time in a week. And Goldman economists raised their 12-month recession probability from 35% to 45% in the wake of President Trump's tariff announcement. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
7:36, WSJM Morning Show continues. Thank you for joining us on this Monday, April 7th. And we have cold temperatures out there and a possibility of snow. It's 36 degrees under mostly cloudy skies in Benton Harbor right now. 38 and windy in St. Joseph. 37 in South Haven, where it's also windy. New Buffalo, 35 degrees, 34 in Buchanan, 34 degrees in Niles. The feels like temperature in Benton Harbor right now is 23. So factor that in as you get ready for the day. Mostly cloudy skies today, a 30% chance of snow showers, a high around 40, northwest winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy, a low around 25, and tomorrow, Tuesday, is going to be partly cloudy with a high around 37 degrees. We've got more news coming up right now from ABC. Then our local news is coming up next, and a look at state news from the Michigan News Network.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. As investments tumble, President Trump said last night, "I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something." Bitter medicine overnight in Asia, the worst market sell-off since 2008. Wall Street, Dow futures have been down around 1,000, indicating another rough start to trading today. Grim analysis here from floor trader Peter Tuchman at TradeMoss.
We've gone from a record high in the stock market to a market that's down double digits. Probably the fastest massive sell-off that we've ever seen, with no end in sight.
President Trump, after a weekend of golf, will meet with the Prime Minister of Israel at the White House today, as well as host the World Series champions LA Dodgers. The CDC just announced it's sending another response team to help Texas control a measles outbreak that took the life of a second child this weekend. RFK Jr. attending that funeral, saying he's no longer hedging on the vaccine, saying it's the most effective way to prevent measles. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
36 degrees in Benton Harbor right now under cloudy skies. Potential for snow today. It's 7:38. Some of the news that we have in the WSJM newsroom. Traffic reminder. This is for folks who are traveling on westbound 94 today and through mid-July. The westbound I-94 ramp to Napier Avenue will be closed starting today through mid-July. There's a detour posted. You probably know better routes, but there you can take southbound US 31 to Napier Avenue. Again, this is the second year of a 3-year, $200 million project, and it's going to rebuild a good portion of I-94 in our area. Unfortunately, that's going to mean some detours in our area as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Over the weekend, hundreds of people lined streets in St. Joseph protesting President Donald Trump. The protest was Saturday afternoon as part of that effort, and we'll have more on that. Hundreds of people. It was busy down there.
It was.
It was crowded. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at 8 o'clock this morning. And U.S. Senator Gary Peters weighing in on the president's tariffs policy. He took to the Senate floor on Friday and had some charged words for the president, so we'll report on that as well. That's some of the news that we have coming up at 8 o'clock right here on the WSJM Morning Show. We have more to talk about this hour, including the Moody on the Market update, your latest business news. That's coming up right here. We've got sports as well from Dave Wolf. First, a look at our state news.
The Michigan News Network.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Evan says on our video live stream, what about toxic waste from the alien ships? I can only imagine the exhaust that comes off the spaceship. Yeah, it's like a Dodge Ram pickup truck that's been modified to have that carbon flying out.
The diesel.
What would be the toxic waste? Would it be like nuclear stuff?
Probably radiation.
Some sort of radiation? Or some other law of physics that we don't know exists and will be in there.
Another realm.
That's the funny, that Evan raises a good point, because I think about all of the recordings, the video recordings we've seen, and most recently, that came from the U.S. military of our fighter jets taking a look at unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, flying around.
Used to be UFOs. So last year.
That's relegated to the horror movies. But to see the jets tracking these things, what kind of signature are they leaving in the sky? What kind of exhaust signature are they leaving? And is there any radiation that we're getting from that?
Right.
That's causing some sort of effect here.
That's what climate change is about. It's all these aliens.
It's the aliens causing our problem.
Right.
It's not us. It's the aliens.
It's like, oh, what about the chemtrails? What about the aliens?
That's a good album.
Yeah.
Lana Del Rey. What is it? Chemtrails at the Country Club or something like that?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good album. Good album. We watched a movie over the weekend. We watched it last night. I actually stayed awake for this one.
Oh.
Yeah. Holland. Have you heard of this movie?
I have not.
This is with, what's her name? Let's see here. Hang on. Stephanie's going nuts right now. She's saying she's yelling out here who it is. Nicole Kidman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman, and the guy from Succession is in it as well. Peter Dilbert. Dilbert? Is that how you say his name?
Maybe.
And a few others. Yeah, let me make sure that's him. Oh, that's not him. Is that him? That's not him. That's the other guy in the movie. He's still in the movie, but let's see. Oh, those are the producers. Where are the stars? I really should do better show prep on when I talk about stuff. Okay, here it is. The cast is Matthew McFadden. He's the actor who plays Nicole Kidman's husband in the movie. And then Gael Garcia Bernal is also in the movie. Anyway, long story short, great movie. Really enjoyed it. And it's set in Holland, Michigan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Holland, Michigan, because it's named Holland. And it has a very, the feel of it, not really the storyline and the way it goes, the way it's structured, but the feel of the movie is kind of like a Mulholland Drive kind of feel. Have you seen that movie? You look very confused. Are you playing Candy Crush? What are you doing over there?
I'm looking at something to add to the conversation.
What are you looking at?
I wasn't planning on getting badgered about it.
Are you looking at Holland? What are you at? Go ahead. You can add it now.
No, one of the things we were watching this weekend is The Resident.
Oh,
and it's
but I'm still talking about Holland.
Series.
I'm still talking about Holland.
Well, then continue. But you brought me into this conversation.
Do you like Nicole Kidman?
I feel for Stephanie. I really do.
Do you like Nicole Kidman as an actor?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I don't. We've got the same taste.
We do have the same.
Jack Black.
No. Oh my gosh, my son Samuel wanted nothing other than to see the Minecraft movie this weekend, and I just couldn't pull the trigger.
No,
because Jack Black is just such a ham. He gives me a headache. It's like, when I talk about the hearing stuff and tinnitus, he gives me tinnitus. He does.
What a great segue into do you suffer from Jack Black tinnitus?
Oh my goodness! So if you've not, the movie's on Prime. We saw it on Amazon Prime, and Nicole Kidman stars, and it's a fun story. It's kind of a, mystery, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm sorry. You saw a movie.
It's a series.
You saw a series
on Netflix called The Residents.
Okay, The Residents.
Yeah.
Premise?
The idea that there's a murder in the White House.
Oh.
And they bring in a consultant detective to figure out how this happened and who did it.
Okay.
So it's a 8-episode
series.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you in the series?
We are on 8.
Oh, wow. You're getting ready to watch the finale.
Yes.
Okay.
The finale is like an hour and 20 minutes. So Heidi
Holy
waved us off
mackerel.
on that last night. She was like, no, not doing that. So
Mike, you got to get up in the morning and get badgered by Ken.
exactly. Need to be a little bit more Teflon coated than that.
Oh. And so it's good?
Yeah,
I guess it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it kind of gets, obviously there's a lot of twists and turns in the whole thing. And at some point, you can only turn and twist so many times. But
the having the finale at an hour 20, that's an intense investment.
Yes, it is.
That you've got. Are most of the episodes around an hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm waiting for the new season of You on Netflix.
Mm.
And are you familiar with that at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's coming out. It's supposed to be coming out this month. And I think it was delayed because of the actors or the writers' strike or something like that. But all right, we've got our Moody on the Market update coming up in just a moment here.
And the Masters is this weekend. Golf again.
Oh, it's coming up?
Yeah.
Okay, talk about it.
It's the Masters is coming again.
Any favorites? Who are the favorites right now?
Oh, I think Scotty Scheffler is probably the favorite.
Okay.
But, I just it's like the beginning of summer. I mean, the azaleas, they
play this down in Augusta?
Yeah, in Georgia. They've got technology in that course. If you look into it, like even the greens have these drain systems in it to make sure that they stay at just the right. So they can drain off water. They can do all kinds of crazy things to that course, and it's all to just maintain this extreme top-notch position.
Can they? So if they have a drainage system under the greens, and based on how wet or dry the green is, that will bear heavily on how fast or slow the ball rolls.
Correct.
Do they have like a way of setting the level of moisture in the green? That would be super cool.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. So if it's very dry, they can moisturize the green, and if it's very wet, they can.
Clock.
You asked
Highs in the upper 30s to near 40. Gusty winds will make us feel well into the 20s. Becoming partly cloudy overnight as lows drop to the mid-20s. The cool air sticks around tomorrow. Highs again in the upper 30s. Increasing clouds Wednesday with isolated showers, even some snowflakes mixing in. Highs low to mid-40s. The low 50s return closing out the week. I'm WSB 22 meteorologist Jessica Burns.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Sorry, you were mid-thought, and I had to cut you off because of the clock. This is not me. This is the clock. 7:48. Good morning.
I don't remember any longer.
Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Wyble. No, we were talking about how you're excited because there's some golf thing coming up.
The Masters.
Oh, the Masters in Augusta. Maine.
Yeah.
No, Georgia.
Right.
Yeah. That's coming up this weekend, and you think Scotty Scheffler is the favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah.
But no, the interesting part of the conversation, at least what I found interesting part of the conversation on the video live stream, was how they can actually mess with the moisture content and moisture levels of the greens.
Right.
That's that. So day one, they can make them very, very wet, very slow.
Right.
Or day two, they could dry them out and just make those suckers run.
Well, and
that would be frustrating.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they tried to make it so it stays consistent, but then again, I think it was last year, the year before, it got really windy.
Yeah.
And the guys were just getting sandblasted because the sand was blowing out of the sand traps.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not a fun day. No, I agree. My first inclination was, that helps the landscapers and the greenskeepers and everybody. That helps them keep it consistent so everyone knows what to expect. But that's what you don't want in golf, especially in a championship like the Masters, is you don't want the consistency. You want everyone to have kind of the same roll of the dice of, this is going to be
brutal.
This is going to be brutal. But anyway, okay, so that's coming up this weekend?
Yep.
Okay, very good. All right, let's do our Moody on the Market update.
Let's do that.
Our Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And one of the fun things that we love about Southwest Michigan is sometimes during the summer, you can just go out and catch a public movie, right? Just in a park somewhere. It's called Movies in the Park, and it's coming back to St. Joseph this summer.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a lot of
absolutely.
fun.
If you're not familiar with it, You probably should be, especially if you have young ones. City commissioners have approved the schedule and the contract for the popular events that will be held throughout July and August this summer. Department of Public Works Director Greg Grothaus told them at a recent meeting that they've selected 2 sites for the screening. They'll be using 2 parks. They're going to rotate between Milton Park and the Whirlpool Centennial Park. All the movies will begin at 7:30 in the evening. If there's inclement weather, instead of just canceling the movie, they're going to show it at a drive-in format at the parking lot of the John and Dee Dee Howard Ice Arena.
Oh, that's cool too.
So it's going to be either at Milton Park or Whirlpool Centennial Park, or if there's bad weather, you're going to do the John and Dee Dee Howard Ice Arena parking lot, drive-in style.
How do you find out where it's going to be?
Well, number one, you can always keep it here on WSJM and we'll let you know stuff. But also the city has a website set up. If shown at the Ice Arena, you'll have a little radio frequency that you can tune to get the film's audio.
Oh, so like the old school drive-in.
Drive-in. Have you ever been to a drive-in where you didn't have the speaker, but you had the little wire that you put near your car and you could tune the frequency and you could hear it over your sound system?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always fun.
Yeah.
That was always fun. I do appreciate the speakers, though. Those are cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What are the screenings? Let's see. Whirlpool Centennial probably averages about 200 people per movie. Milton varies at about 150 to 200 people. The movies are all family-friendly. They'll show Frozen 2, Inside Out 2, Lego Batman movie. Commissioners approved a contract with TPC Technologies, and then they also have to rent the movies. So total cost, you're looking at about $16,000. First screening will be July 12th, and the last of the season, School of Rock, will be August 30th.
School of Rock, are you going to be there for that?
I will not be because Jack Black stars in that, and how we feel about Jack Black.
So much for family friendly.
7:52 is the time. That's the Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and Niles.
Ask for Tarek.
Just to be fair, my son Samuel loves Jack Black, thinks he's the greatest actor on the planet.
Well, Samuel is awesome, but sometimes even awesomeness takes a break.
Yeah. So anyway. But he's in that new Minecraft movie, Jack Black, and Minecraft, the movie, whatever, did very well this last weekend. So somebody likes it.
Yeah.
Somebody can tolerate him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 7:52.
Doesn't have a palate for cinema.
That's right. No taste. All right, we'll be back with more in just a moment.
We're watching over you.
You ever play Minecraft?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Video game.
Yes. Keep going.
I believe it's a video game where you kind of create your own universe.
Yes, that is exactly correct. The test is over now. You can relax.
Thank you.
Minecraft, for me, it's one of the most zen, relaxing things you can do. It's almost like having a little garden.
Yeah.
Where you just rake the sand in whatever shape or design you want. Because honestly, it's a world, a video world. It's a world of blocks, and you can choose what block you're going to use to construct something. You can do grass, you can do soil, you can do brick, you can do marble, you can do glass, you can make water, you can make volcanoes, like lava and stuff like that. You can make a railroad track and put a little cart on it, and it just goes. And it's not. For the most part, it's not violent.
For the most part.
There are like zombies and ghouls and stuff like that in it. Looks like we do have our Cornerstone folks coming in. So would you mind?
We also have our brackets. Brett set the brackets.
Oh, Brett set the bracket information?
Yeah, that's really good. Too.
Okay, come back and I'll give an update on the brackets. But if you would let the Cornerstone person in, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. And that does remind me that next hour we'll be hearing from our friends at Cornerstone Alliance, and so we'll be talking with them. Hey, good morning, Chris. It's good to see you.
Mike actually just called me, so I thought you were back here.
No, that's all right. We're on the video live stream right now, so we're on the air. No, that's all right. Mike should have warned you. So we'll be back in just a couple of moments right here on the. Thank you for letting Chris in.
Sure.
Crash your party.
No, you're good. You're good. Here, let me make sure that all of our microphones are up and operating. Oh, that's going to require me to come off the air. Okay, so we'll be right back in just a moment. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
The Musil, it's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
There's a new player in town. Hi, I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver, and I'm talking about Eagle Casino and Sports, the real money mobile casino. It's so easy to play. You can go from wager to winner to wallet, just like that.
Sign up now and we'll match your deposit up to $1,500. Or you can get a risk-free bet up to $1,000.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Getting multiple estimates to replace your furnace can feel overwhelming when you're not sure who to trust.
Should I care if they're licensed, experienced, and insured?
Yes, you should. Call the experts and feel at ease with McGee's. They know the rules and they don't cut corners. Trust the people that care who know how to do it right the first time. All you need to do is work with McGee's once to see the difference, and they'll be the first call every time. Feel at ease with McGee's. Call today for your estimate.
Feel at ease with McGee's.
It's time for an educational reset. At Liberty Christian Classical School, they don't just teach students what to think, they teach them how to think. Their passionate and dynamic teachers bring learning to life, inspiring curiosity and critical thinking in every subject. Whether it's mastering phonics, diving into Latin, or exploring history and science, their educators guide students to discover truth and develop wisdom. At Liberty Christian, they focus on equipping young minds with the tools to analyze, question, and grow. It's not about memorizing answers. It's about cultivating a deep understanding and a love for learning that lasts a lifetime. Imagine your child being taught by mentors who challenge them to reach their full potential while building character and confidence. That's the Liberty Christian difference. Learn more today at libertychristianmi.org. Liberty Christian Classical School. Education you can trust.
From the Pat Moody Studios, this is WSJM-FM Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, a product of Midwest Family Marketing and Media. Proudly serving our community. WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It is the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's 7:57, just a couple of minutes here before 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we'll be getting the latest world and national news from ABC. We'll also be taking a look at the weather forecast, and believe it or not, I mean, it may actually snow today, which would be kind of weird. I can't believe they've got snow in the forecast. Do they not check the calendar before they put that in?
I don't think they do, but the last time we had anticipated snow, we had a bet.
Oh,
you lost.
That wasn't the last time. That was like 2 times ago.
Okay.
Because the last time I knew better and I did not bet you.
Right.
Yeah.
But you lost.
I'm Ken Lundberg, and
so we're going to bet today.
Here with me, still gloating over his one win many years ago, is Mike Wyble.
Speaking of winning, we should segue into the brackets.
Or we could. Oh, do we have bracket stuff?
Yeah, we got bracket stuff.
All right, let me look. Oh, there it is, right there in the Ken and Associates Bracket Challenge.
Yep.
You want to do this?
No, you can go ahead.
All right, fine.
I like hearing you say my name.
In the women's NCAA finals, for some reason I am listed at the bottom here. I only have 55 points. How did that happen?
If it was golf, you'd be ahead. But it's not.
In third place, Brett Witkowski with 64. Mike Wyble in second place with 65. And Sean won the whole thing.
Yep.
In the women's bracket with 70 points. So good on Sean for picking the right teams there. Mm-hmm. In the men's bracket, which we're not done yet, Mike looks like you're at the bottom. No. If it were golf.
If it were golf.
Because you've got
not.
All right. So Brett's still at the bottom of the bracket with 53. I'm number 2, or second from the bottom at 54. Sean has 56, and Mike has 57 so far correct points. But everything's off tonight. I don't know what Sean has for.
Yeah, I don't know what he has in
the final. I don't think anybody had Florida and Houston.
I don't think so.
So all right, so
that could be it.
So what you're saying is the bracket right now shows Mike Wyble leading in first place.
There should be music underneath.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. It's called, this segment is done. Music. No, congratulations for choosing well.
The soundtrack called Sour Grapes.
Yeah, that one's playing as well right now. It's 8 o'clock. Good morning. ABC News Now. Our local news is next.
From ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Here we go again.
The Dow futures down around 700 points.